Legend has it that the seeds of the Trojan War were planted during the wedding of Peleus and Thetis, a union attended by many gods and goddesses. However, Eris, the goddess of discord, was not invited. Furious at the slight, Eris devised a plan to create chaos at the festivities. She crafted a golden apple inscribed with the words, "To the fairest," and threw it into the midst of the gathering. Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite immediately claimed the apple, each believing herself to be the fairest. Unable to resolve the dispute themselves, they turned to Zeus, the king of the gods, for a decision. Reluctant to choose among them and risk their wrath, Zeus delegated the task to Paris, a young prince of Troy known for his fairness and good judgment. The goddesses approached Paris on Mount Ida, each offering him a tempting bribe to secure his favor. Hera, queen of the gods, promised him power and dominion over all of Asia. Athena, goddess of wisdom and war, offered him unparalleled wisdom and victory in battle. Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty, tempted him with the love of the most beautiful woman in the world, Helen of Sparta. Paris, swayed by Aphrodite's irresistible offer, awarded her the golden apple. This decision incited the ire of Hera and Athena, who vowed revenge on Paris and his city, Troy. Aphrodite, true to her word, arranged for Paris to meet Helen. Helen, daughter of Zeus and Leda, was renowned throughout Greece for her extraordinary beauty, and was married to King Menelaus of Sparta. Menelaus, outraged by the loss of his wife and honor, appealed to his brother Agamemnon, the powerful king of Mycenae. Agamemnon, seeing an opportunity to expand his influence and assert Greek dominance, agreed to lead an expedition against Troy. To muster support, he invoked the Oath of Tyndareus, a pact made by Helen's suitors years earlier to defend her marriage, regardless of the chosen husband. This oath had been proposed by Odysseus, the clever king of Ithaca, to prevent future disputes over Helen. Bound by this oath, the greatest Greek heroes assembled under Agamemnon's command. Among them were Achilles, the unmatched warrior, Odysseus, famed for his cunning, Ajax, known for his strength, and Nestor, respected for his wisdom. The fleet gathered at Aulis, prepared to sail for Troy. However, they faced initial setbacks, including unfavorable winds sent by Artemis, whom Agamemnon had offended. To appease the goddess, Agamemnon was forced to sacrifice his daughter Iphigenia, a decision that sowed seeds of future tragedy. Once the winds changed, the Greek fleet set sail and landed on the shores of Troy. The Trojans, led by King Priam and his sons Hector and Paris, were prepared for the siege. The abduction of Helen had set the stage for a conflict that would last a decade, drawing in gods and mortals alike. The Greeks established their camp on the plains of Troy and prepared for war. The ensuing battles saw numerous heroic deeds and tragic losses. Achilles, driven by personal honor and glory, clashed repeatedly with the Trojan forces. Hector, the noble defender of Troy, stood as a bulwark against the Greek onslaught. The gods, divided in their loyalties, intervened frequently, turning the tide of battle according to their whims. After the initial years of conflict, the Trojan War intensified with a series of significant events and legendary battles. Patroclus, Achilles' beloved friend and comrade, donned Achilles' armor and entered the battle to inspire the Greeks. Though he fought valiantly, Patroclus was slain by Hector, who mistook him for Achilles. The death of Patroclus devastated Achilles and spurred him back into the war, driven by a desire for vengeance. Achilles' return to the battlefield was cataclysmic. He sought out Hector and challenged him to a duel. The confrontation between the two greatest warriors of the Trojan War was intense. In the end, Achilles emerged victorious, killing Hector and then dishonoring his body by dragging it around the walls of Troy. This act of brutality deepened the enmity between the Greeks and Trojans and highlighted the personal nature of the conflict. Despite his strength, Achilles was not invulnerable. His only weakness was his heel, where his mother Thetis had held him when she dipped him in the river Styx to make him nearly invincible. Paris, with the help of Apollo, eventually struck Achilles in his heel with an arrow, leading to his death. The loss of their greatest warrior was a severe blow to the Greeks, but it did not end their will to capture Troy. The war dragged on, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. In the 10th year of the siege, Odysseus, known for his cunning, devised a plan to infiltrate Troy. The Greeks constructed a massive wooden horse, hollowed out to conceal a select group of soldiers. The Greeks pretended to retreat, leaving the horse as a supposed offering to the gods for a safe journey home. The Trojans, believing the war was over and the horse was a gift, brought it into the city. That night, while the Trojans celebrated their apparent victory, the Greek soldiers emerged from the horse and opened the gates to the rest of their army, which had secretly returned under the cover of darkness. The Greeks poured into Troy, slaughtering the inhabitants and setting the city ablaze. The Greeks' victory was complete, but it came at a tremendous cost. Troy was destroyed, and its people were either killed or enslaved. Helen was returned to Menelaus, but the journey home for many Greek heroes, including Odysseus, was fraught with further trials and tribulations. The fall of Troy marked the end of an era and had profound implications for the Greek world. The stories of the Trojan War and its heroes were immortalized in epic poems like Homer's Iliad and Odyssey, which explored themes of honor, fate, and the wrath of the gods. These tales have resonated through the ages, influencing countless works of literature, art, and culture.